I just recorded this entire lesson and then I ended up hating it because there was too much troubleshooting. So we're going to try this again. Hi everyone. This video is going to serve as a tutorial lesson for those of you that missed the end of quarter 3 basically. So we had one test that we did. It was London Bridge was the song on Ocarina, and some people got to perform it in class. Other classes didn't have enough time for everyone to go. Some people were absent, understandably, for health reasons. So whatever the case, if you did not get to perform London Bridge in front of everyone, not just practicing it in class, but performing it in front of everyone, this is how you're going to be able to make up that grade for third quarter. I'm going to go through the lesson with you so that you can learn how to, I'm trying to set up my stuff as I talk, so you can learn how to play the song in case you were absent that entire time while we were learning it. And if you want to practice the song, then you can just go through this video and follow along with me. And then if there's a specific part of the song that you want to make sure that you go over again because it was confusing or frustrating or whatever, then you can do that. But I want to go ahead and get into it as fast as I can. Now, when I transition over here, you're going to see some numbers and letters. I'm going to go ahead and just erase that. So here we go. So I'm going to go through here. If you're curious about how I'm doing this, I have a program on my iPad that I'm using with my Apple Pencil, and then that lets me mark up on my display. And then I have another program that is recording my display so that you can see everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these letters, that part. Most of you got to rehearse this song in class already. It was mostly just a matter of getting to actually play it. But just in case you forgot, because obviously a lot of stuff has happened in the past couple days. I think it's been, like a week and a half since I saw you guys? Okay, we're there. So, for this song, London Bridge, the reason that we did it as our end of quarter exam was because this song not only has a variety of notes from your C major scale that you practiced on Ocarina this quarter, but also it has a very unique rhythmic pattern that we haven't even been able to really get into with the Ocarina yet. A lot of our rhythms on the Ocarina practicing up to this were very, very simple. So in order to get to this part, we needed to kind of practice those simpler songs so that we can kind of put together the rhythm stuff that we learned in second quarter and now the pitch and tonality stuff that we learned in third quarter. The first measure of this song, I recommend that you play it by itself 5 times in repetition just to get it really solid and together. I'm going to go through the full song first and put out all the letter names and explain how I get those letter names, and then we're going to go ahead and start playing. So if you already know how to read music, you can go ahead and skip this part. You'll know when to click play again when you see that all the letters have been filled in. So we're going to go ahead and go in. This first note here, remember we're in treble clef. This is a treble clef symbol. So when we are in treble clef, you have to remember that we use a sentence. That sentence is every good boy does fine. I'm going like this with my arms because as you move through the sentence, you move up the staff. So every is the bottom line, good is the second line, boy is the third line, does is the fourth line, and fine is the fifth line. What do those words mean? Whatever the first letter of that word is, that is the name of the note. So E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for does, and F for fine. So this second line would be good, every good boy. First word, or first letter, of good would be G. So this first note is a G. Now I could go through and every note that appears on the second line, I could go ahead and just write in the word or the letter G because all those notes would be the same. And we'll go ahead and keep filling in the blanks as we go. Now this next note, this is on the space, second space. So when you are in treble clef and you are trying to figure out the names of the notes in the spaces, you use a word. That word is face. works the same way that Every Good Boy Does Fine does, in that it goes from the bottom up, except instead of words attached, it's just the letters of the word face. So first space would be F, second one would be A, third one would be C, fourth one would be E. So since this note is in the second space, that means it is an A. The next note after that G is in the first space, so it would be an F, because that's the first letter in the word face versus the second letter in the word face. I'm going to go through and write all of our A's and F's, all the A's and F's. In the second measure here, this note that I just circled, that note is on the first line, so that would be A, E, because it's every. Every good boy does fine. First word is every in that sentence, so this is an E. We only have like a couple more letters, so I'm just going to go through and do it. E, 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 and an E over here. Now for the notes below the staff that we haven't named yet, this one, and this one. Oh, something happened when I tried to mark it. That one. For those three notes, the only ways that you can really figure out what their note names are is you either have to remember what the notes look like, which comes with time and with practice, or you have to kind of use your common sense and your alphabet knowledge. So when you move down the staff, you're going backwards in the alphabet. So that would be G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Backwards. When you move up the staff, you go forwards in the alphabet. So that's the regular order you learned it in: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So since this note is an E and this note is one note below it, then we know that we went one note backwards in the alphabet. So this is a D. This note is a half note, but it's on the same position in the line, so it is also a D. Then if you go one note below that, that's when the note gets a line going through it, and that becomes middle C. So those are all of our note names. Now, in order to practice this song, the one thing that I want to make sure that you're aware of is the rhythm in the first measure. So when I say measure, these are our measure lines right here. There's one. Here's another measure line. There's another measure line. This first measure right here, when we are playing that, because there is a dotted quarter note, it's a different pattern than what you might be used to. So, for example, I'll do it first so that you can hear it. If I played that first measure as just quarter notes, it would sound like this. Hear it one more time. If I play it the way it's written, it sounds like. You hear how the first note is a little bit longer and the second note is a little bit shorter compared to those even beats. So the reason that I have to play it like that is because of this little symbol right here, the dot after the quarter note, and then also here the flag, which makes that an eighth note, right? So the way the dot works, any note could be dotted. I could add a note to any one of these notes and it would be valid. It would change them. When you add a dot to a note, that makes it worth, or when you add a dot to a quarter note, that makes it worth 1.5 beats. Why is that? Well, it's because that the regular value of that note, the regular value of a quarter note, which is 1 beat, looks ugly. Fix it. When you add a dot to it, that adds whatever half the value of that note is to that note. So now instead of being 1 beat, half of 1 is a half. So with a dot, it becomes worth 1.5. Make sense? No? Perfect. Let me go ahead and erase this. I'm trying to be funny about that, but I shouldn't be. You should be getting it because it's very simple. And it lets you play some really, really like cool beats. Like any swing beat where stuff goes ba ba ba, like, or like a tango beat, or a lot of salsa beats will use a lot of these upbeats and stuff. That's why like any beat machine that you hear in like a hip hop song or a pop song or anything truly ever, like the only songs that follow very metered basic rhyme are like nursery songs, like the ones that we've been learning so far. But once we unlock that like dotted and 8th and 16th note patterns, that's when songs start to sound really rhythmically cool. And so I want to make sure that you learn that so that we can play some cooler songs. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the fingerings for that first measure. I don't have a circle light because I'm not a makeup guru, so I'm going to try to do my best with my little desk lamp here. Remember, when I talk about your left hand, your right hand, sometimes I have to like point at your hands because you guys get confused because you want to mirror me. If you see me hold up this hand, then you want to hold up the hand that's on that same side. But remember that the camera is mirrored. It's reversed. So you almost want to do the opposite of whatever I do. To be clear, this is my left hand because when I go like this with my index finger and my thumb finger, is a thumb a finger? I think a thumb is just a thumb. When I go like this with my index finger and my thumb, I can see an L. You see a backwards L, right? So that's evidence that the camera is reversed. So because I see an L, this is my left hand. Because I don't see an L here, you do, but because I don't, I see a backwards L, this is my right hand. So when I say right hand, if you get confused, don't just try to watch me and copy what I do. Think through it, make sure you're using your right or left hand when I ask you to. On here, first note, left hand, all fingers down, okay? Your right hand, all fingers off. You only use it at the very end of the first measure when you play F. This is what the notes look like. Metronome. One more time. I've actually painted my ring finger so that you can see the difference between my ring finger and my middle finger because you guys like to get those confused a lot. I see a lot of people try to do this because this finger is stronger, so you want to be able to lift this one, but you have to lift your ring finger instead. That's why that one is a different color, so you can see to lift the ring finger. So that first measure, all fingers down for G, lift the ring finger for A, back down, and then your index finger comes down on your right hand for F. Simple. We're going to go ahead and play that together 5 times. I could just do it once and ask you to go back 5 times and repeat it, but no, I want to do it 5 times with you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. This is our 4th time. This is our last time. And that's it for the first measure. If you need to practice that one more, go ahead and do it. But the way I'm going to teach the rest of the song doesn't really work with that first measure. So that's why we have to learn that one in isolation and just practice it over and over again until we get it. I'm going to be teaching you using the numbers first, then the letters, then just lyrics, then silent to see if you can do it without me helping you at all. And then if you can solve all 4 of those, if you can complete all 4 of those in a successful way, then you'll be ready to test for me. So when I say 0 or when I say off, I mean that all fingers from your right hand are off the ocarina. Again, this is right, this is left. So for G, I have a little 0 above it. Brush, I have a little 0 above it here so that you can see that you should have 0 fingers from your right hand down on it. A, remember you lift the ring finger, that's why I have this one painted for you. So we have a special way of remembering A. Back down for G, because all these are still 0. And then once we get to F, we start counting. This is 1. This is 2 for E. This is 3 for D. And this is 4 for C. If you notice, I don't know why this letter never came out. If you notice, every time you have a letter, it is accompanied by the same number. So E is with 2, E is with 2, G is with 0, G is with 0, F is with 1, F is with 1. It's always going to be that way. Second measure would go 2, 1, off, 3, 2, 1. Or sorry, second and third measure would go 2, 1, off, 3, 2, 1. And then you can just go through the rest of the song like that. I'm going to go ahead and play the full song for you. And then we are going to do... Sorry, I forgot. Don't touch your face. We are going to do the numbers, then the letters, then lyrics, then nothing. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to play it first, and you can listen to how the song is supposed to go. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, ready, me. So, going through the song, I'm going to hit the metronome, and I'm going to let you guys play it with me saying the numbers out loud. So get your ocarinas ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Off, A, off. 1, 2, 1, off. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1, off. Off, A, off. 1, 2, 1, off. 3, off. 2, 4. People really like to learn it with the numbers. They find that it's easier. So if you want to go ahead and practice it, I'd recommend doing it like 3 or 4 times. So rewind about a minute, however long that was, and go ahead and do it with numbers again. And when you're ready for letters, come and see me, and we're going to start letters now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. G, A, G, F, E, F, G, D, E, F, E, F, G, G, A, G, F, E, F, G, D, G, E, C. If you're good with letters, go ahead, practice that one 3 or 4 times, and then come and see me now. We're going to do lyrics. So this one is just kind of a test for yourself to see if you can do it without me really verbally helping you at all besides rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. If you're good with lyrics, you can go ahead and try this last one. It's not really required, but it's going to be the closest to what your performance is going to feel like. This is going to be just silent me conducting. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. So, I would recommend to do those repetitions that I gave you, the 3 to 4 times per section, like maybe 2 or 3 times per week. So that'd be a full practice of like maybe 6 to 8 times. And then you should be ready to present this to me. The dates where you can present this, if you really, really need to, you can do it in advance. Just email me or send me a message, however you can. And I can try to make myself available to you this week or this weekend. But I am planning to start March 30th. March 31st will be the second day, and then April 1st will be the last day in order to come into one of my office hours, perform this to me, and then get your test grade for third quarter. Third quarter grades end April 1st. So I would prefer to have all of them done before then, so that way I'm not keeping people waiting for your grades. I'm going to be posting another video shortly about people that still need to do their project presentations, because that was also a thing that some people didn't get to do. But for now, I'm going to leave you all to practice. Have fun.